Here's a look at the potential starting five. Take a look at that roster, folks. Tyson Chandler, Chandler Parsons, Dirk Nowitzki, Monte Ellis, and Rajon Rondo. Stephen A., yesterday you were big on this. So with this roster and perhaps Rajon Rondo now being that missing piece, does this automatically make them title favorites?
Of course not. No way on earth does it automatically make them title favorites because they're in the Western Conference. If they were in the Eastern Conference, I think it would make them favorites to come out of the East ahead of Chicago and Cleveland, to be quite honest with you. But in the Western Conference, even at 19-8, they're the 6th seed right now if the playoffs were to begin today. And when you look at the other teams within the conference, I don't think it automatically puts them ahead of Memphis, San Antonio. To some degree, I think you can make the argument that it could potentially put them ahead of Golden State, but only because Bogut is out right now with his injuries. The Clippers obviously losing Spencer Hawes is going to struggle a little bit. James Harden is an MVP candidate, but there's some questions about Dwight Howard's health. But the Trailblazers can't be ignored, but they lost Lopez. So I think right now you could sit there and say this arguably elevates Dallas to number 3 or 4 within the Western Conference, but I certainly don't think it puts them ahead of San Antonio or Memphis. But it is a significant upgrade because when you're in the Western Conference, you can't get dominated by opposing point guards. There's Russell Westbrook in OKC. There's Tony Parker in San Antonio. There's Chris Paul in LA with the Clippers. There's Damian Lillard in Portland. So when you look at it from that perspective, because they're loaded at the point guard spot, it was definitely an Achilles heel for the Dallas Mavericks to have Rondo, who's an orchestrator and a playmaker extraordinaire from the point guard spot, who also D's up, who's got a heart of a lion, who shows up in big games and big moments, who refuses to get dominated at his respective position. I think all of those things help him, helps the Dallas Mavericks. And, of course, because he's the ultimate facilitator, he's a guy that's going to make Tyson Chandler look better. He's going to make Chandler Parsons look better. Dirk Nowitzki and Monte Ellis, too, but they don't need him as much as Chandler Parsons and Tyson Chandler will. But the fact that he's there, it's definitely a significant upgrade. And more importantly, Rick Carlisle, I keep saying this, Skip, is one of the best coaches in the game. And to have a quintessential extension of himself on that basketball court goes a very, very long way. I definitely think that Dallas is going to have something to say. They could end up going to the finals, but you can't guarantee that this automatically elevates them to the number 1 spot because there are challenges Rondo has offensively with his perimeter shot, and going up against some of those mercurial point guards in the Western Conference may be difficult, but he will rise to the challenge. He's definitely an upgrade, and it makes Dallas better. That much I'm willing to say.
So if you had to put a percent on it, just ballpark a percent, Dallas just got X percent better, what would you say?
I'd say about 40% better.
40%? Yeah. Well, then you must not have thought a whole lot of them to start with, right?
No. It's just that I thought it's about matchups too, Skip. And even though you say 40%, what I'm talking about is how good they can be compared to what they were. Okay. There were limits in terms of their point guard play, but they can make, those type of teams, Skip, that can make games very, very interesting, yeah. And they can fight down to the wire, but you ultimately know they're going to go down. Now you don't know that because they have Rondo.
Yeah. Okay, I'll buy that. I said yesterday, I think I wrapped up the discussion we had when we didn't know whether it was going to happen or not. I said it could make them 20% better, and I thought that was a lot better. Only because before the year started, I had Dallas getting all the way to the conference finals. So to me, the prospect of 20% better now is frightening because obviously I like the Spurs. I picked the Spurs to repeat. And I'm going to hang in there that the Spurs are still, if they ever get completely healthy, I think they're that much better than Dallas. But I keep reminding you, the round of the playoffs that nearly put me in an early grave was the first round against the Dallas Mavericks. Now, they're arch rivals that go way back. So there's always a little bad blood going on between the teams. But, my God, that went 7 games. And I'm like, look, I'm watching the games like this. Again, Vince Carter had a big first round last year. He's not there. Calderon was terrific last year. He's obviously with the Knicks. But I like this team. The only X factor to me, Stephen A., I'm going to throw a basketball point back at you. You know Rondo, you know he can be a little bit difficult to coach and a little bit difficult to get to know. So is there going to be a little bit of a rocky transition for a couple of months now as they try to figure him out and he tries to figure out exactly where he fits? You know?
It'll be a transition, but not personality-wise. First of all, he's not as bad of a person as people try to make him out to be. That's number one. Number two, and more importantly, Skip, he's basically being handed a contender. A contender, a team that has the pieces to compete for a championship, has basically said, welcome aboard, here's the basketball, take us there. And that's Rondo's favorite situation. When Rondo first was in Boston, when the big three arrived, everybody was trying to act like he was the little brother on the outside in, and it was about the big three. And he was like, wait a minute, we ain't winning this thing without me. Don't forget about me.
Yep.
Dallas is different because Dallas is saying, forget about you. We're handing it to you.
That's right.
It's yours. You're the captain of the ship. And that's a different thing. And that's the kind of personality that Rondo has. I believe he loves this challenge.